These boys already started, but huge. It's going to be all versus Embargo. I think we haven't had a Rogue versus an Emotes Shaman so far. Maybe at the very beginning with Arhi. But since then, it's been a little bit dry. Embargo going to be out versus huge. Trying to go for a bit of damage. Is going to go for a grapple. Just use the smallest little grapple just to make sure he gets a line of sight of huge. As huge goes in for a little bit of self-heal go. So huge is playing an Ascendance build, which is actually kind of fun. Every time you Lava Burst, there's like a 7% chance you can activate Ascendance, which every time you activate Ascendance, every enemy with a Flame Shock is also going to get hit with yet another Lava Burst, which can activate Ascendance again and again. You can like chain together over and over and over. It's kind of nuts. Huge, dropping down Earthquakes versus Embargo. I think try to see if maybe you can drop down Earthquakes to knock down Embargo, like try to add a bit more CC. Instead of Earth Shocks, which is interesting. Try to see if you can set up a Lava Burst with Sky Fury. Hey, make her into Embargo. Knocking it back as the Rogue does go for a Blade Rush. Interrupting that Hex. Your department could maybe still go for a Hex. He's going to go for a Trinket. Trying to go for a little bit of health recovery while the Rogue's interrupt is down. Quick gouge to try to disrupt the Shaman as best as possible. And huge is a situation where he might be in big trouble. Embargo, I think, just has him. I don't know if there's much you can really do about it. And Embargo does end up slicing him up, with Glitch going to be up next. Get the shot versus Embargo. It's going in for a big burst. Embargo's just going to have to take the stun. Cheap shot to follow. I think if he trinkets, he loses anyway. I think he basically stood behind and cooldowns on health, that even if you trinket it there, you're just done for the count. Going to be a stun to Gloosh. He's trying to go for a bit of damage. It's going to be Suwa trying to go for most amount of BM bound to damage. It's going to be evasion for Gloosh. Trying to see if he can reduce as much damage as possible for the BM. At least he's able to avoid a lot of the pet damage. Freezing Trap as the Kidder Shot comes out. And it's going to be Pet Sack as Suwa sees Gloosh go for a trinket out of the Freezing Trap. Got himself a lot of self-healing. Gloosh with his Cloak of Shadows. Flare still right on top of him. There's nothing he can really do. How did Suwa know he's going to hide in the corner like that? Glitch could have went into the room, but this man can read minds of these rogues. This is going to go for a disengage as the rogue goes for a Shadow Step. That's going to be feign death for a second for Suwa. Freezing Trap versus Glitch. Does he have anything to go for? That's going to be a Flash Count. Does he have a stun right after? Glitch can take a lot of damage. Does take a bit of damage. He's going to get himself an re-stealth anyway. That's going to be a quick blind onto the Hunter. Does the Hunter go for a trinket? I don't think he can. I think he has to wait until the Kidder Shot is ready. And that's going to be those pets attacking Gloosh little by little with the Bestial Wrath still on him. Gloosh taking a little bit of damage with his pets. Not the most amount of damage at all though. Suwa poking out for a second. Stun around the corner with a Death Chakra. Is that going to be enough to take out the rogue? Looks like he might just have it. It does take him out. Even use the kill command there. I'm surprised. Because normally as a hunter you don't really use kill command unless you want your pet for mobility. Unless maybe he's playing a different build. But it's so weird how Beastmaster Hunters in PvP almost never use kill command because it actually does less damage than a Cobra Shot. Or at least Cobra Shot is more valuable damage in PvP. Faster with Shadow Bolts onto these pets. Gonna be a disengage out of Suwa as he gets in aggressively in there. That's gonna be Felor dropping in, double stun into Suwa. Faster as you get a full turn up and running. It's gonna be Felor eating a Freezing Trap as a Mortal out in Hunter. That's gonna be Turtle Shell as all the pets are up and about. Decimate Bolt, I think either the Hunter or some of the pets. Does Faster still get himself those instacast bolts with the decimating? Even if he shot it into a Turtle Shell? Or does he not? I actually wonder. He looks like he does. Looks like he does get those bolts. You see him spinning, the green ones. They're still rotating around him, orbiting around the Warlock. So I try to see if he can poke in and out, trying to give Fassel not too much of line of sight to get some damage rolling. Fassel just pushing in way deep in there. Wall, as he got himself a good angle to get himself a Castle to Suwa, actually putting a lot of pressure. That drain gave himself quite a substantial amount of recovery. No interrupts by the pets. So it looks like Suwa is able to get himself a full flash cap to get himself some healing recovery. Quick camo. It looks like without the pets going for any AoE or any dots, he is able to get himself an actual full clean camo. I'm actually surprised by that. Just literally mid-combat, all his pets are surrounded. Quick camo after a fake death. Just literally in front of Fassel's face, and there's nothing you can do about it. Double explosion into the pet, as well as the Warlock's pet. As Fassel goes in for a hand to go down with the fear onto Suwa, going for Flash Cutter Zone, and Suwa just kind of stuck. It's gonna go for those kill shots. Does take down the Wrathguard. Can Fassel summon a quick new one? He does get a fresh new pet. So this is going to give him a little bit more of that sustainability, a little bit more of that damage. Going to be the Resonate onto Fassel. Big damage onto the Warlock. Does go for a port, but it does go down. I'm not even sure what killed him. I think it might have been a bleed. I think it might have been that BM Hunter bleed at the very end. Well done, well done. With Dalaran charging out towards Suwa. Is this going to be the BM Hunter going in for 1v5 potentially? Try to see if he might be able to get Dalaran off of his back. This is a Arms Warrior. I don't think Dalaran is going to be able to easily deal with Sua, especially if he's still playing that second wind build. He needs to find a way to get away from Sua, get away from his pets to get him some recovery. But Sua can just put the pets on Telrion, and they'll just keep harassing him just enough in order to make sure that Telrion doesn't get him some recovery. Massive knockdown onto Sua though, as Telrion continues to try to waddle towards Sua, slowly but surely getting hit with the slows. That's what the pets are at least hit for a little bit. Maybe he can get an execute on one of these pets for a bigger impending victory. Has Sua in the execute range. Does Sua just go down, feign down the last second, brings the trap on Telrion, does break out of him with a charge and a trinket, making sure that the hunter does not get to dominate this duel. Quick shadow mill for Telrion. As we got a new guy. Jor GJK of boy. Wait, Junior? Wait, I don't even know what his name is. I guess I'll go back to him afterwards. After we watch the duel versus Krager and Telrion. Telrion trying to see if he can get away from Krager immediately. Gonna be a quick lead for Krager with a crushing blows, just not letting Telrion escape at all. Telrion has no ways out. He just used Shadow Melt earlier, so there's no way he could really get away from Krager. Does charge towards the slime with a reflect, but I think it's gonna be over. And looks like he's gonna be done for the count. There it is. Baba come back is Baba come back the last one left? I guess Papa is literally the last one left. Papa, are you gonna play? It looks like he was literally asleep. Papa, last one holding the fort for the team 2 versus Kragar. Hopefully he actually plays this time around. Big bleeds into Kragar immediately. It looks like he means business this time around. Last time he just kind of let Kragar finish him off. Bash into Kragar, no trinket. Kragar trying to use defense in order to live this. It looks like Papa does end up taking him out. Is it going to be the Shaman? Potentially? So what is his name? George Cowboy? Wait. I think his name is literally George Cowboy. I think it's George Cowboy. I kind of like that. It's going to be George taking a bit of damage. I think at least I think it's George. We're going to call him George from now on. Now in my mind it's planted. George is going to be out versus Papa. Big vent to your burst. Trying to see if he can trap the kid in the static totem. Kid needs to take down the totem as soon as possible. Does drop down a mortar coil with a maim with a stun versus George. George does go for a trinket. The Aegis does absorb a lot of that grenade damage. Absolutely just decimated, taking that damage out of the window altogether. That's going to be wall for George up next with the Earth Elemental. Ghost was joining. That's going to be a lot of Maelstrom. As long as this man is man, he has plenty of self-healing. Got his name right? I did. Okay, cool. It took me a second. My Russian is all kinds of scuffed. So it took me a second to just like spell it out, to look at the Cyrillic letters themselves to try to put it together. I did like his name though a lot. George Cowboy. I like it a lot. Cyclone looks like it's going to be interrupted at the last second. Papa trying to go for a flash grab. It looks like George is going to have to see if he can break through a flash grab. See, he has the Earth Elemental with him, so it's giving him a little bit extra bolstered health. That extra 20% health, I think it is going to give him a little bit more survivability. I think that health can be higher with a bigger conduit. Big bite out of the feral. Big blades rolling into George. George might be in big trouble. Trying to see if he can maybe use the healing surges to keep himself alive. That's going to be Papa come back. Got a stuck in the static totem. It's going to get interrupted. He's trying to go for a little bit of healing. Sunder onto Papa with a Sunder follow. Does George end up taking him out? Big alien blaster right after. Does Papa have anything to follow? It's going to be main versus the Shaman. But looks like Papa doesn't have the big damage with it just yet, unless he got a bite baked and ready to go. Going to be the Ghost was joining in. Master Chain Harvest. Oh! With an alien blaster follow at the end. Oh my goodness. I love that arc of alien blaster, by the way. It almost makes it look like somebody's going for a dunk. My goodness. That was so good. God, I actually thought Papa was going to be able to turn around on the Shaman. There's no way. It's a chamois. You got a little bit of healing, but only once in a while. Why they got a bit of mana, but I thought maybe against the bleeds and consistent pressure. They could only do so much, but it looks like this man George got it. Hell yeah. I like your bog, by the way. Let's go, dude.